verify an individual's.
Hello, I'm Irma Baker. Welcome to our show. We're sponsored by RSVP, the Retired Senior Volunteer Program, and that's a part of Mature Services. We like to think of our show like a kaleidoscope, that we're bringing you an ever-changing array of interesting individuals and activities and organizations in our viewing area. We'll be right back after these messages with today's guest.
RSVP of Summit County has been making a difference in our community since 1972. RSVP volunteers are increasing the quality of life by participating in programs and organizations that provide important services to the community. RSVP matches personal interests and skills with opportunities to serve. If you're interested in adding more meaning to your life and improving the lives of others, please call 330-253-4597 extension 166.
Welcome back. Our guest today is Dan Hostetler, and Dan is the Executive Director of the Medina County Convention and Visitors Bureau. That's an awful long title, Dan. We're glad to have you with us.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Well, that sounds like you're really in the job of bringing the information about Medina County to the public.
We are. Our main goal is to bring visitors to Medina County. And the reason we were formed is for economics. Visitors spend money locally, and that money helps the local economy.
Well, how really does it help the economy?
Well, when visitors come in, they're spending money at local businesses, whether it be restaurants, hotels, attractions, shopping, gas, and that is direct dollars to those businesses, as well as the tax base that goes down to the state, and then portion of that comes back to the county to help the county.
Well, what brought you to Medina County?
I've been here for 20 years. My mother lives in Brunswick, or my mother and stepfather lived in Brunswick, but I was actually over at the Akron Summit Convention and Visitors Bureau and heard that the opening was coming and they were going to form a bureau, and came over, interviewed, and I got the job, and 20 years later, here I am.
Wow, so you were here from the very beginning of the formation of the Bureau?
I was right after they actually formed the Bureau with the Board of Trustees. It's a non-profit Board of Trustees. And after they got formed, got everything started, they hired an executive director, and that was myself.
And here you are 20 years later in that job, and obviously still very enthusiastic about Medina County.
I love Medina County. I love my job. It's a fun job. It's always different. Every day is a little bit different. It's one day you're working with motor coach tours, one day you're working with conventions, one day you're working with just individuals walking into the office.
Where is your office located?
We're located at 32 Public Square in Medina. It's right on the southwest corner.
That's of the green, Village Green,
yes.
In Medina?
Yes, it is. We would be diagonally across from First Merit Bank on the square.
Okay, and I know that the square in Medina has a lot of activities and events that bring people right into the heart of Medina.
That they do, and those people, many of them, were open for special events on the weekends. We're open during the week, Monday through Friday. Special events, we're open up for those events, and then we bring a lot of people that stop in, and we have information on Medina County so that they know what's going on all over the county as well as what's happening in Medina. But we also, for local residents, have brochures on other parts of Ohio. So if a local individual is looking to travel in Ohio, we often will have the information they need to help them plan their trips.
So you're really a one-stop shop. The Bureau is a one-stop shop for information about Medina County, which of course includes us here in Wadsworth.
Yes, it does.
And the rest of Ohio.
We don't have a lot on the rest of Ohio, but we have stuff from all the different visitors bureaus. So we try to have as much as possible.
You could certainly get people to where they need to go
Yes.
to get more information.
Yes, we can.
Well, what do you find most exciting about Medina County?
It just is a growing county. There's lots to see and do. We have some wonderful parks. We have wonderful historical societies, we have farm markets, and we have lots of fun events that go on all year long.
What are you finding that people today are interested in that maybe they weren't as interested in when you started 20 years ago?
From outside of the county, I would probably say it's mostly the events, because the events draw people in, and then once they're here, they see that there's a lot of other things to do. Most of them just think of Medina County as a small rural community and don't realize that we really have a lot to offer.
Well, you have Medina and Medina County, so of course the county fair is in Medina, but there are activities that go beyond the city of Medina.
Oh, yes.
And for instance, we have some upcoming events here in Wadsworth. Could you talk a little bit about those?
Sure. We have the Taste of Wadsworth, which is on September 5th. We have the Scare on the Square, which is October 25th. Candlelight Walk is November 16th. And the Jingle Bell Jaunt and Holiday Parade are November 17th. And those are all events that draw people not only local, but there are people from Akron, Worcester, and other places who come up because they're unique events and fun events that people enjoy.
Certainly the holidays are big drawing cards, and you have so many towns and villages in Medina County that really are like that picture postcard type of thing, almost like a New England. It's almost like, okay, visit New England without going to New England. It's kind of a one-day or one-tank trip for anybody in Ohio to come to our area. Has that been promoted within the county?
Probably not so much within the county. I am actually working with an organization which is sort of trying to become the Western Reserve Heritage Area, which would include Medina County as well as the original Western Reserve land grant area that we are a part of, and that's the reason we have the beauty that we have here. Those town squares came straight from New England, and Wadsworth has a great gazebo, Medina has a gazebo, Sharon Center, Seville, Lodi. And it's those type of things that draw people in. They're picture postcards, as you said, and they like to get photographs around them, and that is one of our big draws.
It certainly makes you feel like you're going back to another point in time, as well as having all the modern conveniences. I know shopping, certainly, you have the big box stores are all in the area, and you have the wonderful little shops that are mostly in the town centers. What kinds of variety of shops are there for the shopping, or the shopinista? Are they calling everybody nistas now?
Here in Wadsworth, you have one of the best apropos. It's just a unique shop. They have all kinds of different gift items and specialty items. So it's a shop that draws people in because they can't find those things everywhere. In Medina, you have Gramercy Gallery, you have an art gallery. So it's every town has a little bit different. You have some small antique shops, you have gifts, you have specialty art and such.
You mentioned earlier that you may be working one day with tour groups and other days with individuals. How are tours arranged through Medina County?
Part of my job is selling motor coach tours to come to Medina County. And so I will go out and contact motor coach companies and highlight what we have to offer. I'll put together sample itineraries for them of what they can do while they're here. I do a couple marketplaces where I actually will go to the marketplace and have a chance to sit down one-on-one with them. We get all 7 minutes to highlight what we have. But the idea is then I go back afterwards and send them information, and that is what draws them in. And it's the unique things within the county, special events like Buckin, Ohio.
Tell us about Buckin, Ohio.
Buckin, Ohio is unique. It is something fun. If you haven't been there, to go out and watch the bull riding, it is just...
Now wait, let's back up. Bull riding. When you say Buckin, Ohio, I'm thinking bucks like dollar bills.
Oh,
That's
no.
not it?
No. Buckin, Ohio is bull riding.
Ah!
Creek Bend Farm is down in Burbank. It's in Medina County, but a Burbank address. and they have a farm and they raise buck and bulls. And they raise them to go on the national buck and bull circuit. They're well known, and they bring, what they're doing now is bringing in cowboys who will ride and be part of the, I'm not sure of the correct name, but they're part of the circuit for bucking bulls or bull riding, and so they get points, they get prize money, and this year they've done something where they've actually started judging the bulls as well as the cowboys.
So instead of going to Texas or Oklahoma or Wyoming or any of those western states, we can actually go to a buck and bull riding rodeo type thing here?
They have that right here in Medina County. They do 4 bull ridings a year, June, July, August, and September.
So there might be one coming up.
So there's coming up in August, I think it's the 25th, and another in September. I have those dates on my website. But it is fun, and they're drawing 3,000 plus people for an evening. And they have entertainment, they have bull riding, barrel racing, they have an honor the cowboy, they have mutton busting where the kids get to go out and ride sheep, and they have stick pony races for the kids. So it's a fun family entertainment.
It just doesn't sound like something anyone would expect to find here in northeastern Ohio, but there's Medina County just providing something that normally you'd have to go way out west to experience. Well, you know, that brings up another thing, a unique event that we have here, and that's of course in the springtime, the buzzards.
Oh yes. If you haven't been out for Buzzard Day, it's a unique experience.
I have to tell you, I did go out for Buzzard Day this year.
I was there.
Were you there? Well, I
was.
probably ran into you there. But it was wonderful. I mean, these huge birds come flying in, and people are there with up on the stand marking them as they come in. And wasn't it a record this year? 100 buzzards landed on the 18th?
That I couldn't tell you. Obviously, you stayed longer than I did.
Well, I stayed till the very end.
They were earlier this year than normal.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, but I knew they had a number of them, but I didn't know that many.
Yes.
But then you also get some fun characters up there where they come up with their buzzard hats, and we had a buzzard person dressed up as a buzzard. So there's all kinds of fun characters and fun things to see while you're up there, and they even were selling buzzard t-shirts and all kinds of fun things.
Well, the Boy Scouts were even there doing a one-day camp out.
Okay, I didn't see that.
That was on the other side of the road.
Okay.
And I love the part where they had the wingspan of the buzzard, and you could stand in front of it and measure yourself against the wingspan of a buzzard. But it is unique, the things that we have around here. How did this ever come to be that Medina really focused on tourism?
It actually started with Commissioner Hawley and Bill Lyson from Mapleside Farms. They realized that tourism brings money into the county, and they had the foresight to start to put together the idea and come up with the program, and it's because of them that we are here today.
Well, it certainly is a contribution to the area, and it's an area that is just not quite Greater Cleveland, but not quite Akron, and a little far from Columbus. So it's a unique position that just geographically Medina fits into the Ohio landscape.
It does, and I always say if you take Cleveland and Akron, we make the third point on that triangle.
That's a good way to look at it, yes.
For people who are looking to where we are, when I say Medina County, they go, Medina County, where's that? Yeah,
where is Medina County?
But we have gorgeous highway access with I-71, I-76, 271 that people can get here very easily. So they can get to all parts of the county. We have some great state routes that bring in. And we are nice because we're close to the Akron and Cleveland market. It allows us to work with them. If motor coach tours are coming in, they may do a day in Medina County, then they'll go into Akron. so that they're spending more than a day in the area. So we work together, and that's one thing Convention and Visitors Bureaus have done very well.
Could you give us an example of what a typical tour that someone from the area might sign up for?
Most of the tours that we're looking at are coming from outside of Medina County. We prefer to have them over 150 miles because then they'll have to stay overnight, and that helps our economy. But they may come in for the day. They'll get here, let's say noonish, and we may take them to AI Route, then take them to the Historical Society and do a afternoon tea and do sort of a Victorian in the square of Medina. And then we'll bring them down to Wadsworth, and we might do coffee at the Sonnets Coffee, a cooking demonstration, or a wine tasting out at Galaxy. They'll spend the night. The next day they might get up and go over to the outlet mall. Or they might go up to Mapleside Farms, where they can see the apple orchards. They'll get a tour back in the back of the apple house where they wash and sort the apples, as well as they get to go to the apple house and possibly have lunch before they go to their next stop.
Well, you mentioned something that I think appeals to everyone right now, or most people, not everyone, but most people, and that's a winery. Do we have wineries then here in Medina County?
We currently have one,
Huh?
Gilbert Winery up in Valley City. And he started out making honey wine. That's what he decided to do, and he makes very good honey wine or mead, and he has expanded, and he is starting to make wine from grapes. And last year, I think it was, he actually started to put a vineyard in, not on his property, but another property nearby.
Well, that's another unusual fact about Medina, that you can actually get mead produced here. I thought that was something that went out with the Middle Ages.
You would think so, but mead is honey wine. That's what mead is. And he has the bees, and he produces it, and he's, I think, the only one in Ohio that is making it.
Well, bees are certainly big in Medina County, and I don't mean the stinging or anything like that, but you mentioned the Root Company, which of course is a beeswax candle
Yes.
company, as well as expanded into others. And now we have a honey wine, mead producer here. Are there other unique agricultural products that come out of Medina County?
Probably what we have the most of is apples. We have a number of apple orchards around Medina County.
Well, fall is certainly the time to go and get apples.
It is, and you can go to Geigs Orchard over here in Seville. There is a Pick Your Own Apples up in Hinckley, Hillside Orchard, which is between Hinckley and Brunswick, obviously Mapleside Farms. Apple Cabin over by Lodi. They sell apples all year round. And of course, all of them have different events that go along, so fall is a fun time. Mapleside has the Johnny Appleseed Festival. The Apple Cabin does the hayrides, haunted hayrides back into the woods. So it's just, they expand beyond what they have and make things that are entertainment, and that's what also draws people to Medina County.
Well, you've mentioned so many things that I'm thinking anyone who's viewing us today and sitting in on our conversation, probably wondering, where in the world can I find out some of these places? I can't remember everything. So how do people find information about the events that you've talked about?
There's obviously a lot of different places, the newspaper, but for us, we have a website, www.visitmedinacounty.com. And on our website, we have an events calendar. If you want, you can stop in our office and you can sign up for our monthly newsletter. And as part of the newsletter, we have all of the events that we're aware of listed at the bottom of the newsletter for that month. So and one other thing for the fall, I forgot to mention, of course, backtracking just a bit, the Fall Foliage Tour, which is a big draw not only for Medina County residents, but from all around us. The Fall Foliage Tour is the second full weekend in October, and it's a different part of the county every year, and you get to go onto farms, historical societies, and greenhouses, and it just draws lots of people. Anywhere from 3,000 to 8,000 people a day come in for the fall foliage tour.
Is that a drive-it-yourself tour?
It is. It's a drive-it-yourself tour. The maps come out probably mid-September. If you want, you can call our office to get a map. We also, if you go to the Medina County Parks website and click on a icon that they'll have for fall foliage tour, you can download the map from there.
And from your website, would there be information about it on your website too?
We're currently trying to get that on there.
Well, I imagine by the time that people are viewing this, you'll have it up and running.
I hope so.
Well, you know, you said you're working to get that on. What other kind of things are you working on? What's coming up maybe new or different or unusual that you're working on to bring to expand the tourism here?
Actually, today we're doing more and more with social networking. Facebook, Twitter, like I was out at the fair, I was putting little tweets, as they say, on about the fair, or on Facebook. I took a couple pictures and posted them with a little "come on out to the Medina County Fair" and what entertainment was coming up. So a lot of the marketing we're doing today is starting to go that direction, and we're getting away from some of the print advertising that we used to do because it's gotten very expensive.
I know you do have beautiful brochures that are available. You brought a number of those to show us, and they just make me want to get in the car and go all over Medina just to see all these wonderful places that you have. But tell me, you said that you're using a lot of social media. How is social media affecting, and when we talk social media, we're talking Twitter, we're talking Facebook, I don't know if Pinterest.
I'm not on Pinterest yet, but I'm starting to look at it. There's LinkedIn, and it's just a way to drop information. You get people who will follow you, and so they can pick up that information very quickly, and it's people who might not look at, let's say, Ohio Magazine. And so they'll pick up that tweet or that Facebook thing on Medina County, and they'll say, oh, that's somewhere I want to go.
It makes a difference then, because the brochures, as you said, are expensive to produce, and you have to physically be somewhere or have them mailed to you or something. But if you go onto a website, you're able to pick them up right there.
You can, but I will tell you, they're not dead yet for the print. Brochures, people still want to pick up a brochure. We have them at the Turnpike, we have them at travel information centers, and we are currently go through about 80,000 of them a year.
Oh, that's a huge amount. Well, when you say that people still want brochures, many people do take brochures as souvenirs, but Medina County also has other souvenirs available, don't you, at the Bureau?
We do. In our office, we don't have a whole lot, but one of the things when we moved up to the square, they were concerned that we were taking retail space. So we said, okay, we will put some retail in, and we sell shirts, we sell pens, coffee mugs, we have some postcards, we have some different items that artists have brought in, whether it be postcard or painted note cards, hand-painted note cards, that type of thing.
So people can really get a variety of things to remember their trip to Medina County, and I hope it encourages people to come back to Medina County at all. What's your, you know, if you could just say a couple words to our viewers, what do you want them, the one thing you want them to know about Medina County?
Medina County has a wealth of things, and most of us don't go to the things that we have here in the county. So take the time, go out, drive through the county roads, see what's out there. We have some gorgeous countryside just for great fall colors, and go out and see something you haven't been to before, because you'll be excited and learn a lot.
Medina County certainly has a rich history. It has wonderful agriculture. It has the retail. It has outdoor activities, indoor activities. It seems like Medina County really could be a wonderful destination for people in our area.
It is, and don't forget food. A lot of people
Oh.
like to eat when they're traveling.
Tell
And
us
we
just
have-
quickly a little bit about the food.
Oh, we just have some great restaurants. Here in Wadsworth, the Galaxy is wonderful. Up in Medina, you have Main Street Cafe or Corkscrew, obviously Mapleside Farms in Brunswick. So there's just a unique restaurants, good local restaurants that we have that are fun to enjoy. Especially if you're local, you get to know the owners, and it's just nice to be able to walk in and they'll say hi to you.
Well, it's nice to have you visit with us today, and I hope that our viewers will take advantage of the opportunity to really explore Medina. And we thank you for watching our view through our kaleidoscope today. We hope you enjoyed it and that you'll remember our sponsor, RSVP. That's part of Mature Services, and it offers volunteer opportunities for people 55 and older here in our local community. For more information about RSVP, just call the number on the screen. For RSVP, this is Irma Baker saying have a great day.
Since 1971, RSVP has been matching volunteers' talents to community needs. RSVP is affiliated with the Corporation for National and Community Service, a national organization that supports service and volunteering through grant-funded projects. Volunteers organize neighborhood watch programs, tutor children, renovate homes, plant community gardens, assist victims of natural disasters, and serve their communities in many other ways. RSVP offers maximum flexibility and choice to its volunteers as it matches the personal interests and skills of Americans 55 and older with opportunities to serve their communities. If you're interested in adding more meaning to your life and improving the lives of others, please call 330-253-4597, extension 166.
Distribution of this program has been made possible through the generous support of the Kaler Law Firm. At the Kaler Law Firm, attorney Jim Kaler helps seniors and veterans who need long-term care keep some of their life savings in the family. For more information, visit www.protectingseniors.com. The mission of the Kaler Law Firm is protecting a senior's life savings.